Oh, okay, folks, this is CERT Instructor on. Hey, today we're looking at some possible severe weather here in Oklahoma. You can see the area lined out there, goes up into Kansas, partly down into Texas. You can see the date. And kind of the risk, well, to my understanding, could be some very large hail. Where I'm at, it is actually saying possible tennis ball size hail. Now, that's pretty big. I've seen it before, had to hit my vehicle. Now, that means that if you're going to get out and you're going to storm spot, you need to be extremely careful. So let's talk a little bit about preparation before getting out into something like that. That's the area. I'm going to back it out. Okay, so what does that mean for somebody like me? Now, if I'm going to get out and I'm going to go spotting, there's going to be a couple things that I'm going to do. And one of the things that I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that I've got everything that I need with me in case I break down. So I'm going to have rain gear and everything else. I'm certainly going to have my phone with me, and definitely ham radio because I'm going to be checking in with the NWS and possibly the city of Edmond here in Oklahoma and making reports. So I want to make sure I've got that. But I also want to make sure that I know exactly what I'm going to do if something goes badly. And what I mean by that is, let's say a tornado spins up. I know where I'm going to be sitting. I know where I'm going to be watching. I need to make sure that I know those routes in and out. Now, if you don't do something like that, you can definitely find yourself in a hurt very, very quickly. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that all your lights, your windshield wipers, everything's working properly. And the other thing that I always make sure that I do, not particularly this one, but you always want to make sure that you've got a vest with some reflective material on it. When I storm spot, I typically use a yellow one that just stands out more. But the reason you want to do that, you get outside of your vehicle. I see a lot of people outside of their vehicles wearing dark clothes. Very hard to see them. If you're not careful, somebody's not paying attention, you could find yourself being ran over somehow. So you want to make sure you got that right gear. Some of the other gear I'm going to take with them, I'm going to take binoculars. That way I can get a really good look if I'm going to make a report. Also make sure that if you're going to make a report, let's say to the NWS or whoever, you've got everything down, like the time, your exact location or approximate location. You may not know the exact location, but intersections or something, exactly what that event is and how long it occurred. Make sure you know what to report so that you don't get accused of false reporting or something like that if you're reporting through Spotter Network. I'm going to take my phone with me or tablet or whatever. I'm going to have Zello on it. I'm going to be talking to my radar guys. It's always good to have somebody else watching radar when you're out in the field and letting you know exactly what's going on around you. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I can do that myself, and absolutely you can. The problem is that if you get into an area where service and signal is questionable, you may find that your radar's not updating like it should. So I would always advise you to work with somebody. It's good to take somebody with you as a co-pilot if you have the ability. We'll just call them that. That person can run your electronics and operate radio, whatever, if they're a ham radio operator. But it's always a good idea to make sure that you're mentally prepared to do that because it can be very stressful once you get out there and you have to deal with traffic and weather events that may be coming your way and frightened people and road jams and all kinds of things. So make sure that you know where you're going to go. You know exactly what you're going to do if weather comes. For example, we talked about large hail possibly today. So what does that mean? That means I know where my shelter is going to be. I'm going to be at a gas station up on a hill, and they have an awning there, so I know that's where I'm going to go if there's large hail. So just make sure you know what you're doing, where your escape routes are. Very, very important. Safety is always the number one thing. You can't do anything for anybody and help them if you're endangering yourself. You never want to be in that position where you have to be rescued and you put yourself there because you weren't being safe. So that's my tip of the day. Just make sure that you know what you're doing, where you're going, and make sure that you're communicating with others and listen to what they're saying. So if you have things like a TV, a portable TV that you can take and watch and listen to, that's really good. Make sure you got a weather radio of some sort. So that's my tip. Do everything you can, take everything that you can with you to make sure that you can do it safely. And be careful. Thank you.